travel forecast because it is going to get messy over the next couple of days. Now, today we have started off with a lot of rain across the area, and that rain is going to start to move out, which is some good news. But we are going to be looking at some colder air filtering in, some gusty winds as well, and then also looking at eventually a changeover to some snow showers across the area. So a quick look at radar. This is a nice wide look here, so you can see kind of the storm system itself. We have rain mainly over us off to our southeast, and then snow showers near Minneapolis as well as to the west. As we zoom a little bit closer here, sorry, let me take a look there. You can see we have just a few more rain showers remaining across the area, which is a change up from what we had for a majority of the day today. Obviously, we had conditions that were a lot rainier for the first half of the day. But now, as you can see, just a couple more showers lingering. We'll keep just a couple more, or just a slight chance through the rest of this afternoon and evening. And then eventually we'll actually get back to drier conditions and cloudy skies overnight tonight. But there is one more chance for rain that we are looking at tomorrow morning with a final front, and it's behind that front that it does start to get even colder. We'll also look at windier conditions too. So I just want to give a brief timeline right now of what we are looking at. First, as we move into tomorrow, we are going to have some lake effect snow showers that will fire later in the afternoon and evening after the rain showers early, but also wind gusts, and I'll have more on that in just a second. But we are looking at wind gusts 40 to 50 miles per hour. We're likely to have a wind advisory issued just with the gusts that strong, so keep an eye out for that. Thursday for Thanksgiving, it's still going to be windy. Wind gusts will be near 40 miles per hour, so a little lighter, but still it is not going to be pleasant to be out and about. Also, we'll have some more lake effect snow showers. Friday, a few showers are possible. Friday's actually going to be our calmest day. It's not going to be warm or anything, but it's going to be our calmest day out of all the days, because by this upcoming weekend, we are looking at also a winter storm that could bring us some accumulating snow. So that could also lead to poor travel conditions across the region, and something that we want to watch on. Okay, so first let's take a look at Futurecast. Again, we're wrapping up the steadier rain. We are looking at cloudy skies for the remainder of the day today. Our temperatures are kind of holding in the upper 40s. A few of us will try to make it to 50 degrees, but this is pretty much our last warm day. Tomorrow, our temperatures are actually going to be crashing. They'll be starting in the mid 40s in the morning, and then they're going to be in the low 30s by the afternoon. So in case you don't really realize it, usually we start off colder and then we climb throughout the day, and our warmest temperatures are in the afternoon. And tomorrow's not going to be like that. We're actually going to start off in the mid 40s, and then we're going to drop into the low 30s by the time we get into the later parts of the afternoon. All right. Well, let's take a look at wind speeds. Right now, we are looking at wind speeds at this moment. Sorry to get this scene up here for you. Not bad. I mean, winds right now out of the south, southwest, southeast at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. But I'm going to jump ahead, because by tomorrow morning is when our winds start to ramp up. We'll have winds at about 15 to 20 with gusts already pushing 30 degrees by daybreak tomorrow. So be prepared for windy conditions. For those that are not doing anything outside on tomorrow, you'll notice the winds out there. But for those that are flying, you'll probably notice the winds more. That's because anytime you get some strong winds, even at the surface, you're going to notice the bumpy conditions as you're taking off or even landing as well. I'm not trying to make you nervous about flying. I am a nervous flyer, but that's just something you'll notice when you do have strong winds. You know, pilots have to kind of change how they land. Sometimes they do what's called crabbing, and they'll come in at an angle so that their nose is still towards the headwind, and then they'll kind of line up last minute. But still, when you get those strong gusts, it can create some rocking going on. So just keep that in mind. It is going to get even windier as you get towards later parts of the afternoon and evening. I mean, take a look at some of these gusts, about 40 to even approaching 50 miles per hour possible as we get into Wednesday afternoon and evening. And unfortunately, we really don't see the winds let up Wednesday night and into Thursday morning. So if you're running the turkey trot, if you're going to the parade, if you're tailgating for the Lions game, it is going to be windy. I mean, we'll continue to see wind gusts near 30 miles per hour. So if you do normally set up a tent to do some tailgating, maybe not this time. If you're at the parade, just make sure you have plenty of layers, not only, you know, a winter coat because it's going to be cold, but you might want to also protect your face too. You don't want to get that wind consistent on your face, especially if you're going to be outside for a while. Same thing also for those that are running the turkey trot on Thursday morning. All right, throughout the day, we still see strong wind gusts through Thanksgiving, so wind gusts will still be near about 40 miles per hour, and then eventually they will start to let up a bit as we move into Friday. So again, that's what we're looking at in terms of winds. It will impact, I think the biggest thing that people will notice is probably if you have anyone flying in or out, or if you're flying in and out, they're gonna be like, yeah, it was bumpy coming in. That's probably what you're gonna notice. But the winds are also gonna help trigger some lake effect snow bands. So I wanna actually fast forward Again, we're getting through the rain. Here is our last chance for some rain. This will be Wednesday morning, so the morning commute will be rainy on Wednesday if you're going to work. So just looking at one final push of showers. It's a much narrower band compared to what we had this morning. And then behind it, the strong winds out of the west southwest and then eventually out of the west northwest will trigger lake effect snow showers too. So we'll definitely have more snow the farther west that you're going. If you're traveling to the west side of the state, if you're driving to Chicago, if you're driving anywhere in that direction, this will be one of those scenarios where we're likely to have lake effect snow. You'll have slippery conditions at least, and potentially also poor visibility. We know that I-94 corridor, mainly as you go west of Kalamazoo, that can get pretty dicey when we have lake effect snow bands. So allow extra time. Be prepared to potentially go slow in those regions as, again, we look at lake effect snow bands beginning to kick up. As we continue into Thursday morning, we'll still see lake effect snow bands. And one of the ways you can tell that these are lake effect snow bands are the fact that you actually can see kind of like the band shape here. So the winds are coming out of the northwest and you can see this band going across the state. So for us here in Southeast Michigan, it kind of takes that perfect wind to get the bands all the way across for us. So we'll see if we get them on Thursday. I do expect the lake effect snow to be a little less on Thursday as well as Friday. But again, if you're traveling to the west side of the state, if you're traveling up north, you have a much better chance to run into the snow. And that could create some slippery conditions or actually just snowy driving conditions, poor visibility, having to drive through snow too. So very slippery conditions. So keep an eye out for that. And then as we get into Friday, this is what I'm talking about. Friday is kind of the calmest day. Okay, saw a model switch there. So we've got one model that only goes out 72 hours. This is the this is the GFS model. This one goes out farther. So that's why it looks a little bit different at this moment. All right, so as we get to Friday, still some lake effect snow bands. Best is going to be north, and best is also going to be up towards the northern part of the thumb, the tip of the thumb. As we get into your Friday, most of us will actually see a quieter day, though still chilly. But this is Saturday night. This is our next storm that we are keeping an eye on. It's really going to be track dependent like it is with a lot of our winter storms here, because for us, if the storm changes, if it goes north, we're talking 100 miles, which in a grand scheme of things is not that far. That can really dictate what we see. So we could see a lot of snow. We could also see a lot of rain, or we could see a mixture of both. So it's going to kind of depend on this track. Latest model guidance is really kind of pushing snow showers arriving Saturday evening and then continuing Saturday night. And we should get a little bit of a changeover moving into Sunday. You kind of saw that flash there. I'll actually back up just a little bit so you can see kind of where this line gets a little bit gray, if it's going to be snow, if it's going to be rain. This is Sunday morning, and then we could switch back over to some snow. So latest model guidance, a lot of weather models, and then as well as the same model doing different runs, are really indicating that we will have that snow coming in Saturday evening, likely having it Saturday night, and then seeing some sort of flip between snow and rain on Sunday. So that's the latest information. It definitely can change as we get closer to the weekend, but as of right now, it looks like we're going to see some impactful weather. Even if we didn't see the snow right here in Detroit, there will be areas that do see the snow. In terms of airports, I mean, you can see the system is big, so it could impact airports on the East Coast. It could impact Chicago. A lot of connecting hubs, of course, too, could be impacted by this storm. So it wouldn't necessarily just be DTW, but it could be travel concerns if you're trying to get out of the area as we get into Sunday. If you're wanting to run ahead of this, if you're traveling east, I would see if you could leave on Friday or Saturday even. If you're traveling west, it's going to be harder to avoid this system by leaving any earlier because it is coming from the southwest. So do what you can. Again, more time, the better. That's the best way, again, to always do it. So breaking things down, travel outlook-wise, this is a look, kind of what we're looking at. So we've got our arrivals and departures if you're flying out of DTW, and then your drive time if you're traveling, let's say, within the state or maybe within 500 miles of Detroit. So today we should be fine. I mean, we do have rain, so that does slow things down a bit. It was more of a problem this morning. It'll be quieter for the remainder of the day. So if you're leaving this evening, it should be much better, honestly, to travel this evening if you're going somewhere, even if it's just 2 hours away or if you're starting your drive. Now, Wednesday into Thursday, I have the yellow airplane or delays Wednesday and Thursday. That's likely because of the winds. I don't think the snow will really slow things down at the airport, but sometimes when you do have strong winds too, they tend to space airplanes out a little more too, so that may delay things. Also, depending on the direction you're coming from, or if you're traveling to the East Coast, they're now going to see some of the storm that we saw today, so there could be delays in other parts of the country, excuse me. So that's why I think the delays could be possible Wednesday into Thursday. Now, drive time wise, Wednesday into Thursday, that's mainly lake effect snow. Now, I will say for us locally, we should be pretty good for our travel Wednesday and Thursday, but if you're going to the west side of the state, if you're going to the upper peninsula, if you're going to the northern part of the lower peninsula, those are the places where I would allow for some extra time just because of the lake effect snow bringing some slippery conditions and poor visibility. Friday's our calmest day, though I may, you can kind of talk about the fact that there could be lake effect snow on Friday, and that could lead to some slower conditions, so I think that's the best travel day. And then Saturday and Sunday, this would again be because of that storm coming in from the southwest, snow arriving at some point, likely later in the day on Saturday and then continuing into Sunday. So that could lead to flight delays as well as poor travel conditions across the area. You do not want to be, driving through some snowfall. If you're wondering, what kind of snow, how much snow could we be looking at? I'm not going to give totals now. It's definitely way too early to give, like you will see this much and that. I can tell you with the lake effect snow and then the snowstorm potential this upcoming weekend, some places in the northern part of the lower peninsula could pick up more than a foot of snow. And this is mainly, again, up there in some of our more mountainousy region, not down here for us. But even the upper peninsula, they could be looking at least a foot of snow in some spots, with some places even getting more than 2 feet of snow. And that's actually more so lake effect than the potential storm this weekend. So we're really going to see that ramp up. I know that's actually some great news. It's poor to get there, but this is great news because snowmobiling, obviously so big up there too, skiing, snowshoeing, you name it. I mean, it's gonna be good. We want to see the snow up there, so it's good that it's in the forecast, and I really just hope this forecast, of course, plays out like we are looking at. All right, quick look at your 7-day forecast again to kind of break it down day by day. Another way to look at it, again, rain's wrapping up today. Then as we move, I'm going to take my face off here just so that you're able to see it a little more. Okay, so rain's moving out today. Tomorrow it's a rain bit early, then it's snow later. So that's why I've got the rain and snow icon on Wednesday. Thursday, it's lake effect snow. Same thing on Friday, though Friday we should have fewer snow showers than on Thursday, for example. Saturday, snow picks up towards the evening, and then we'll see some sort of changeover going on Sunday from snow to rain most likely, and then we could see that again on Monday. But you can see temperature-wise, I mean, we've been holding near 50 degrees this whole weekend. Even yesterday we saw temperatures near 50. We're close even at this moment, but then we drop. So Wednesday's high of 49, that's going to happen in the morning. And then by the afternoon, we'll be in the low to mid 50s and then fall close to 30 by Thursday morning. High temperatures on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and Monday are all just going to be a few degrees above freezing, and our lows are going to be into the 20s. So colder air definitely filtering in, actually dropping below average. Our average highs now are in the low to mid 40s, so we'll be colder than that. But yeah, big changes coming in our weather, big shift in our weather as well. If you have any questions on this, please let me know. If you have any questions that are particular to the forecast, not specific on cities, especially if you live locally, because it's best to give the broad understanding of kind of what we're going to see. I can't tell you, in your city, you're going to see 3 inches of snow. No, we're definitely too early for anything like that. But that's what we're looking at. All right, I want to zoom out again, and you're going to see this kind of flip through again what we've got going on. And then as we take a look a little closer here, we just still have a couple more rain showers that are lingering here, just to the east of Ann Arbor, getting closer to South Lyon, and then also down just to the west of the airport right now. A few showers south of Pontiac, more up towards Genesee County, and then farther to the north there. Again, these showers will continue to move on out. We'll get to drier conditions coming in tonight. We are expecting some strong winds, and then also looking at the chance for snow. I'm going to loop through the wind forecast again. We'll start with strong winds tomorrow. Overnight tonight, our winds will gradually get stronger, but they will be picking up more so you'll notice it tomorrow morning. That's where we'll have our wind gusts already close to about 25 or 30 miles per hour. And then as we continue throughout the day, you'll see them get even stronger. So wind gusts will be about 40, even up to 50 miles per hour on Wednesday afternoon. And then we'll keep it windy as we get overnight on Wednesday, and then also going into Thursday for Thanksgiving. Keep that in mind. Again, if you're going downtown, I know it's going to be busy. We always have a jam-packed Thursday in the city of Detroit, but it is going to be very windy. We're still looking at wind gusts even up to 40, maybe a little stronger than that as you get into Thursday afternoon. And then eventually winds will start to weaken Thursday night, but more so into your Friday. A quick look at models again here for in terms of weather. We'll see this rain that's now through move out, but we have one more front coming through tomorrow morning. That'll bring some showers for the morning commute, not as widespread, not as long lasting as what we had today. Then we get the colder air coming in. That's going to trigger lake effect snow bands. Heavier will be to the west and the north, but we will still keep the lake effect snow showers all the way through Thanksgiving. This is Thanksgiving morning, and then Thanksgiving evening, and then moving into Friday, Black Friday. That is also going to be our next chance for some snow. I just hear a ding going on, and that would be it. So we do have our wind advisory that has been issued. It goes into effect tomorrow at 4 a.m. Let me just get the quick little details on my phone. Of course, my phone doesn't want to open it up. But yes, we do have a wind advisory. Of course, technology. When you want it to work, it doesn't want to work. But we do have a wind advisory. It's most likely because, again, we just talked about the wind gusts, about 40 to 50 miles per hour. It goes into effect sometime tomorrow morning, and it's likely going to be in effect all the way until Thursday evening. That's when we're looking at the long stretch of some gusty winds. Of course, I'll have more, and I'll keep everyone informed once I can get the exact details on the timing there. All right, but back to what we've got going on here. Lake effect snow showers starting Wednesday afternoon. They'll continue all the way through Friday, and then we'll see somewhat of a lull Saturday morning, and then here comes that winter storm Saturday night into Sunday. Like I mentioned before, even though that this is showing snow, a lot of snow, and then a switch over to snow and rain, it is really going to be track dependent on this storm system, how much we actually see. So can't give any totals right now, but it is leaning to some accumulating snow, which could vary quite a bit across the region. I would just be prepared for it at this time, because this would be this weekend, that you're probably gonna have trouble traveling, whether it be by air or even driving, because any sort of snow can definitely cause some problems. And there might be some flight delays just because of the storm system moving through, and there may be a need for a shovel. It's a big may at this point, but just keep that in mind as we get towards this weekend. It's still kind of, we're so in the beginning of the season that, you know, you just kind of prepare for what the first kind of things happen. Be like, okay, do I have this ready? Do I have this ready? Just in case, you know, you do get a couple inches of snow, but we'll see on how that all works out. Again, I will kind of break things down. Our biggest things that I think we'll have going on over the next couple of days. Again, today it was the rain. That's pretty much wrapping up. Tomorrow, it's the winds and the lake effect snow. Thursday, it's also the winds and the lake effect snow that could impact our weather or travel. And then Friday is our quietest day. Still some lake effect snow likely. Winds will be lighter though, and we should not have as many lake effect snow bands. And then Saturday into Sunday, it's the potential for some accumulating snow. I'm going to put up the 7-day one more time. It doesn't look like we have really any questions, which is some good news there. But I'm going to leave this here. Hopefully this helps you with your forecast or your travel planning, I should say. If you are traveling, whether it be just across the street or maybe just to your couch in your living room, or maybe you really are hopping on a plane or you're driving somewhere far, you just know that unfortunately we don't have ideal weather this year with the wind, the rain, the snow, the let's see, cold temperatures expected. I was like, there's one more thing expected for the extended period. So keep that in mind. If you are traveling, I hope you travel safe, and I hope you have a great next couple of days. Of course, we'll continue to keep you posted here at 7 News Detroit. We're all working over the next few days, so we'll continue to give you the latest information and help you prepare for any of your plans. Otherwise, I am signing off. Have a fantastic Tuesday, everyone.